Looks like we're going to hear a story from painter Bill Grant.
Well, this is titled the Bridge of Sighs. It's quite a famous landmark in Venice, obviously Venice. And what it does is it connects the administration building to the jail. And as the prisoners leave to go to jail, they look out these little windows here and give a great big sigh, because it's their last view of Venice for quite a while they're locked up. But I particularly, usually the views are from the other end of this canal with more detail, but I like the sort of building up of the bridges and the texture of the building and reflections in the water. So even though the bridge is in there and the title's not in it, it's a small piece of the total painting. I just love the textures and the cornices and the ins and outs and stuff, and railings, and I particularly like the placement of the figures as they sort of go back in space and so on. So this is actually taken slides that I took on student trips to Venice, and also had a sabbatical leave where I was in Venice. I can't remember which time I took the picture, but a lot of times I'll sort of be looking for subject matter and sort of going through what I have and seeing this. And actually I planned maybe to make a woodcut of this, but I ended up making a paint. Might still make the woodcut. Okay, this painting I titled The Ship Hector's Workbench. And I spend my summers up in Nova Scotia, and the ship Hector is basically the Scots Mayflower. The beginning of the Scottish immigration to Nova Scotia was on this particular ship, and it was a clunky old rotting Dutch merchant ship, and I forget how many passengers were on it, 227 or something, and most of them survived. But on their way over, they were blown back. It must have been a hurricane, 6 weeks. And so they got to Nova Scotia quite late, and they had a tough time. The land wasn't cleared. They didn't have time to grow any crops or anything. But anyway, the town of Pictou, where they landed, made a reproduction of this ship, all volunteer labor. And this is the workbench in the workshop where they made many of the parts. They also had a blacksmith shop there. But this is right up my alley. I just love tools and clutter and busy things. It's like a great big still life. So it's a very elaborate woodworking shop that they have there. Plus there's an interpretive center. So this is the ship Hector's workbench. Okay, well this is also in Pictou, Nova Scotia. And this is a log cabin, huge structure it's very similar to what you'd see in Yellowstone National Park. It was part of that. The railroads were building these lodges and to get people to get on a train to go places. So this is a great big log place, and this is the lounge part of this restaurant, and they serve very good meals there and all that. And I've done a painting of the inside of that, but then I was interested in the grouping of these people sitting around. Here's the bar up here, and it just made an interesting study for me with the reflections on the hardwood floor and the chairs and people sort of sitting there, somewhat connected but some disconnected too. And this fellow had this stern look because I had my camera there when I snapped some of the pictures. He has that kind of accusing look, like, what are you up to? So this is what sort of inspired me to paint this. I like the feeling of the depth of the background, especially the pattern of the people's legs and chair legs and all that. So this is the lounge at Pictou Lodge.
Huh. All right.